Hi everybody, welcome to class today. We are going to be doing 20 minutes of stretch and rest. And this is really about unwinding the body. So if you've had a really busy season, or if you're right smack dab in the middle of a busy season and you're feeling a little tense and kind of maybe pulled in a few different directions, this is all just about unwinding some of that tension, feeling a little bit more grounded, and finding a bit of pause and rest. So I have a chair here that I'll be practicing in probably the majority of the time, but you're more than welcome to sit on a mat. I'll give you options for both, so really just do what feels right for you. So find your way to a comfortable seated position, whatever that means. And just get nice and comfortable here. Try to keep the spine long, find that tall spine. Maybe close the eyes. Take a couple hot breaths. Feel free to add a bit of movement here in the body. Maybe shoulders roll a little bit. Maybe circle the wrist. Whatever feels good. Settling in. Hands can rest on the legs or wherever it's comfortable. And let's just find some breath together. So noticing your inhale and exhale, breathing in, feeling that lift of the chest or the belly. And then exhaling out, letting all that breath go. Let's do that a few more times. Inhaling, finding that full breath in, exhale, let it all the way out. Very nice. 2 more to go. Good. 2 more breaths. Wonderful. If the eyes are closed, slowly begin to blink the eyes open. Let's get just a little bit of movement in the shoulders, rolling the shoulders up and back. So a lot of times when we feel tension kind of building up in our body, it's usually in a few different areas. It's this neck shoulder space, our low back, and our hips. So we'll be connecting into all those spaces here today, kind of a full body stretch, and we'll end with a nice shavasana and some rest. So as we take those shoulders up and back, maybe notice if you feel any tension here. Maybe it's kind of more in this upper space, maybe it's more in between the shoulders. Wherever it is, just notice. That's kind of our first step in relieving tension, is to understand where it actually exists. A lot of times we can be so busy that we don't even really notice the sensations in our body. We just kind of keep going and going and going. So taking a pause and just kind of noticing how your body feels is really the first step in finding some more relaxation and stress relief. Great. 1 more time, up and back. Nice. Let's take the arms out wide. Maybe let those elbows bend a little bit, open through the chest, and then give yourself a nice big hug. Right arm on top. Maybe a little squeeze, maybe a little movement for that upper body. Good. And then we'll do it again. Open it up, and then take left arm on top. Again, maybe a little movement, getting in around those shoulders, mid back. Good. Release those arms down. Let's take the chin to the chest. Gentle movement side to side for the neck here. Good. Couple more side to side. Nice. Next side, the head moves to the right. We'll take a pause. Left hand can reach down towards the floor. If you're sitting in a chair, maybe you choose to hold the side of the chair. And breathe. Those full breaths are so helpful in releasing tension in the body. Try to stay connected to those. 1 more breath. Good. And then release that side. Take the head to the left. Right hand can reach down towards the floor, or maybe hold the chair if you're sitting in one. Let the head really be heavy over to that left side as you breathe into right chest and shoulder. Good. And release. Bring everything back to center. Lift the head. Maybe another couple shoulder rolls or shoulder shrugs. Great. Shaking is really, really helpful in relieving tension for the body. So let's just shake it out a little bit. Let those fingers shake, hands shake, wrists shake, arms. Maybe we get a little shimmy in the chest. Just kind of really let it go. Good. Shake it out. You can even lift the arms up and out. Maybe make some circles. Maybe shake to one side and then shake to the other. Just shake it, shake it, shake it. Good. Nice. And then let those arms release down to the legs. Great. As we work into a few more twisting motions, this is really great to open up those spaces along the spine. So if you feel like your back gets a little more tense in those moments of, an extra long to-do list, this can be a really great way to help out. Always think about lengthening the spine, staying up nice and tall, keeping those sits bones, those two bony parts connected down to whatever you're sitting on, whether that's a chair or a mat, or maybe you're sitting on the side of your bed or wherever you are. Keeping those sit bones down, the top of the head up. Inhale if you like, arms can lift. And we're going to twist to the right. So right hand can come to that right side. Maybe it holds onto the chair. Left hand can come in front, or it can cross over. Whatever feels right for you. Let's take a few breaths. So inhale. Feel that nice big lift, lengthening through the spine. Exhale, maybe you twist a little bit. Keep a firm press onto the floor so those legs are connected down to the mat. Good. On the next inhale, you can lift those hands up again, and we'll switch to the left side. Same options here. Finding a place for that left hand to go, for that right hand to go. Whatever works for this side. Good. Couple more breaths. Nice. Slowly unwind. Bring it back to center. Roll those shoulders up and back. Good. Let's twist again to the right so hands can lift. Go into that right side. We'll add a little bit of neck stretch here. So chin can come down to the chest, and then roll that left ear towards the left shoulder. Getting a bit more stretch through that right side of the neck, right shoulder. Good. Bring the head back to center. And let's switch up and over to the left. Find that shape here. And if you choose, chin to the chest, then right ear to right shoulder. Two more breaths. Very good. Slowly unwind, bring it back to center. Nice. So wherever your legs are, whether you're seated in a chair or if you're seated on the mat, you're going to bring your hands to your thighs. Just start with a little bit of a half circle kind of motion. So starting to get into that low back and hip space. Good. Just kind of finding that flow side to side. Wonderful. And then eventually the next time you come to that center, we'll start to settle here. So hands can stay on the thighs. You can bring the forearms to the thighs if you're seated. Maybe those fingertips start to walk out in front of you. You can bring the hands to the floor or a block, but just finding your own stretch. Staying with your breath. Good, maybe a couple more. Nice. Let's slowly come back up to sitting upright. Roll the shoulders up and back. Great. If it feels okay to come to stand, we're going to find our way to a standing position. I'm going to keep the chair nearby just for any help with balance. You can also use a wall too if you've got one handy. So just like we did the shaking on that upper body, let's shake the lower body. So let's start with, doesn't matter which leg, whatever one you want to start with. If you want some extra support, grab onto a chair, grab onto the wall, and give that leg a good little shake. Good. If you want to work on some extra balance, you can always try without holding on to anything, but always feel free to grab something to feel more stable here. We're just kind of shaking it out. Good. Maybe you move that leg around a little bit. Let the foot be floppy if you can. Good, and release it down. Let's switch it. Shake it out. Again, maybe you choose to move it around a little bit. Nice, maybe you kick it back behind you some. If you've got a chair nearby, don't kick the chair. Good. And then set that foot down. Nice, and maybe we'll do a little full body shake. So you can just kind of bounce gently. Knees are definitely bent here. We're just kind of bouncing up and down. If you want to try to lift the heels and take that little bit of a bounce. I'll show you from the side. So just picking up those heels gently. Again, you can always use something for stability here. So we find that little bit of bounce. Really good for the lymphatic system. So that helps to support your immune system here. Great way to release tension. Let's do a couple more bounces here. Nice. And release. Great. So we're going to go into a warrior one shape or a crescent pose shape. It's kind of up to you. I'm going to show you two ways to do it. One standing and one on the chair. Actually, do this a little bit more here this way. Okay, so if you're standing, you're going to take your left foot forward, right foot back. You get to choose how far back it goes. Again, you can always use the chair for balance. So we're getting a stretch here through that right thigh and right hip, okay? If it feels more comfortable to stay in the chair, you're gonna kind of turn your body to one side and let that right knee kind of drop down towards the mat. If for any reason that doesn't feel okay for the knee, you can always have it a little bit forward. You can always step it back a little bit more. It really just kind of depends on what feels best for that leg, okay? So you choose. We're going to stay here a couple breaths. Hands can lift up towards the ceiling if you want, getting a little bit bigger stretch. Good. Let's stay here for 2 more breaths. Good. Nice big breath in and out. And then slowly release it down. Bring those legs back to center or come back to the center of your chair. And again, just another little shake, maybe a little bit of bounce. Good. And then we'll switch sides. So same thing, chair, same way. Just turn towards the other side and find that position that works for the knee. If you're standing, take that right foot forward, left foot back, nice and tall, up through the chest. Feel that opening through the front of the left hip this time. Maybe hands lift. Good. We'll stay here about 5 breaths. You get to choose how bent this front knee is. Maybe it's really bent. Maybe it's just slightly. Good. Nice. 1 more breath. And then slowly release. Bring it all back to center. Again, a good little bounce. Okay, great. We're going to add a little something else to that warrior one shape, and I'm going to show you from the chair. So it's the same movement. The legs are going to be exactly the same as they just were. So if you're standing, find your way to that warrior one or crescent pose shape. I'm going to be here in my chair shape. And if you're in your chair, you can take that left hand and hold on to the back of the chair. If you're standing, take your left hand to your left hip. Right hand's going to lift up. And maybe reach that right arm over. So definitely adding some balance, especially if you're standing. If you're seated in a chair, try to feel that press back in the right foot as you reach through the right fingertips. Opening up here through the side of the waist. Let's take it 2 more breaths. Good. Release it and bring it back to center. Few little shakes here. Good. If you're in your chair, you can kind of bounce those heels, shake the arms. Wonderful. And then let's switch it. Finding your other side, setting up those legs so they're nice and comfortable. Arms can lift if you choose. And then we'll take that side stretch. So if you're sitting in a chair, right hand will come to the chair top, the back of the chair. If you're standing, maybe right hand comes to hip. And we're going to take that left arm and reach it over to the side. Getting that nice big stretch through the left side of the waist. Good. Few more breaths here. Nice. Slowly bring it back to center. Bring it all back again and find that bounce. Great. Okay, so wherever you are, we're going to find our way to a place to rest. So if you want to sit back in your chair and you've got a back on it, you can just lean back and get really comfortable. If you want to come down to the floor, you can. If you're practicing on the edge of your bed, you can lie down if that feels good. So whatever feels right for you, you're going to find your way into that shape. Feel free to add a pillow underneath the head or anything underneath the legs to feel more comfortable coming to that most relaxing shape. Eyes can close if you choose. Let's find a couple more of those ha breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. 2 more just like that. In and out. In and out. Good. Then just release all control of the breath. Noticing the muscles in the face, seeing if you can soften that space around the eyes and the jaw and the mouth. Shoulders and hands soften. Chest and belly relax. Back muscles soften, feeling completely supported by the floor beneath them or the bed, or maybe you're leaning back against a chair. Legs and feet feel heavy and relaxed. Noticing that gentle movement of breath in the body. Anytime you become aware of the mind wandering, bringing your attention back again to that rise and fall of the breath. Continuing on for several more rounds of breath here. Allowing the body to settle and rest. Slowly beginning to blink the eyes open, wiggling fingers and toes, starting to bring some sensation back to the body. Thank you so much for joining me today and taking some time out for yourself. Have a great day.